Hello, baseball fans. King Ikibu coming to you live from the underground bunker deep beneath the metropolis of Tuktoyaktuk, where we're going to play today. What is it? Game number 10,129 in the massive best and worst of the 80s project. Game number 10,129. Why am I playing this game between the Houston Astros and the Chicago Cubs? Well, it's the Cubs, of course, 1984 Cubs, and they only have a half game lead. They are crumbling since the All-Star break. And they only have a half game lead over the St. Louis Cardinals, who've played one more game. They're one ahead in the loss column from the Cardinals. So if they lose this game, they'll be tied. But that's not the main reason. If you look here, the Houston Astros have won 15 games in a row. 15 games. They're going for win number 16. And looking back at the history of this project, 15 games in a row is the longest winning streak of this project, currently held by Houston, and the 1980 Los Angeles Dodgers had 15 games in a row that they won the final 15 games of the season in 1980. So the Houston Astros are going for the record 16th straight victory, and they were 11 games back of San Diego only 2 weeks ago. It looked like the race was over. Houston has climbed back in the race with this 15-game winning streak, trying to get back in the race, giving San Diego a little bit of a scare here. In the American League, there's not much scaring going on as Cleveland's playing very, very well. And the Blue Jays are fading a little bit. Fading. I can't really say fading. Ever since they hit the 81 mark, guaranteeing them a 500 record, Cleveland has really soared. They beat them, I think, 8 out of 12 times between these two teams. 9 out of 13. That's what it was. 9 out of 13 games Cleveland has won. So Cleveland, Skeetersoft loves the Tribe. They always play better in real life in the replay than they did in real life. California is 8 games ahead of Kansas City, but the National League has the races, it looks like, here in 1984, and we're going to play this one here today. The pitching matchup is between Mike Scott of Houston, who's going for the 16th straight win for the Astros, and Dennis Eckersley is going for the Cubs. Here are the lineup for the Houston Astros: 74 and 54. Leading off, playing second base, Billy Durham. Batting second, the shortstop, Craig Reynolds. Batting third, the third baseman, Denny Walling. Batting fourth, the left fielder, Jose Cruz Sr. Batting fifth, the center fielder, Jerry Mumphrey. Batting sixth, the first baseman, Enos Cabell. Batting seventh, did I say sixth? Seventh, the right fielder, Terry Poole. Batting eighth, the catcher, Mark Bailey. And batting ninth, the starting pitcher, Mike Scott. And we'll get to the Cub lineup when they are up to bat. But here is Dennis Eckersley's 10 and 11 between the Red Sox and the Cubs, with a 4.44 ERA. In real life, like all the Cubs, they're all, with only a couple of exceptions, doing much poorer than they did in real life. That's why they're only clinging to a very slim lead in the National League East, because all of the team, especially Sandberg, is just playing horribly. So it's a miracle, actually, that they're in first place even now, even though it's only half a game. But here we go. Here's Bill Doran. He's batting .240 with 3 homers and 37 RBIs. And he has a chance of an error and doesn't have it. 1 away. Ground out to second base. Craig Reynolds, .245, 2 homers, 53 RBIs. And he grounds out to the pitcher for the second out. And then Denny Walling batting .262 with 4 homers and 20 RBIs. And he gets a base hit. He's going to try to steal, doesn't get the jump. So no hitter for Eckersley here today. Here's Jose Cruz batting .285 with 9 homers and 74 RBIs. In case you're wondering, Bob Nepper won Game 1 with a 6-hit shutout and won the game 10-0 over Steve Trout, who was not very good. And he just has bad ratings. I sometimes question how bad his ratings are versus his real life 1984 production, but that's for another day, a discussion for another day. Anyway, here's Eckersley to pitch to Jose Cruz with 1 away, or 2 away, and the runner on first. And he gets a double sixes. This feels like the first game. 32. He has a single. That was lucky for the Cubs. And he rolls a 66 on the steal and he gets thrown out. So that's much better than it was in the first game. Oh, I should be hoping for Astros. Yeah, we want to set a record. Yeah. Not at the expense of the beloved Cubbies. Anyway, here's Mike Scott. Scott is 10-10 with a 3.91 ERA. His ratings aren't very good, though. 5 Q3. If you know anything about Skeetersoft or AppBuzz ratings, that's not very good. Although he has a Z, which is a very important one that takes away walks, and G takes away home runs. But here's the lineup for the Chicago Cubs, who are 67 and 57. Leading off, center field, Bob Dernier batting second. The second baseman, Ryan Sandberg, batting third. The left fielder, Gary Sarge Matthews, batting fourth. The first baseman, Leon Durham, batting fifth. The right fielder, Keith Moreland, batting sixth. The Penguin, third baseman, Ron Say, batting seventh. The catcher, Jody Davis, batting eighth. The shortstop, Larry Boa, and batting ninth, Dennis Eckersley. Bob Dernier is batting 282, 339, 347. You can see his on base is almost 17 points below real life. Not the dominating figure. We have to take a screenshot of Scott to put him into the forum, as is tradition to do. Copy and paste. There we go. The relievers available, you can see here. Nobody was used in the first game, so all the relievers are available still. Here's a pitch from Scott to the Deer, and he gets a ground out. Sandberg, 251, 16 homers, 80 RBIs. He should be 267 on base. He's only 311. He should be 520 slugging. He's only 433. He is the worst of the offenders. His RBIs are up there. His homers are up there, but all the other stats are nowhere near MVP level. Here's the pitch to Rhino. He gets a base hit thanks to Scott's horrible 5. So he's going to try to steal here, and he gets the stolen base. So Sandberg's on second base for Gary Matthews, batting 287. His on base should be 410. It's 388. His slugging is exact, 428. Has 12 homers and 68 RBIs. Here's the pitch to Gary Matthews. He walks. Brings up Leon Durham. The Cubs were cruising to a National League Division Championship until Leon Durham got hurt. Mid to late June. And then things started to fall off for the Cubs at that point. Durham was leading the Cubs, putting the Cubs on his back. Then he got hurt, and he really has not recovered since. You can see if we look at his batting numbers, he was batting up to that time, like May especially, 9 homers, 32. In June, before he got hurt, he was batting 270, and now here in August, he's only batting 9 for 54, 167. So he has a chance here to redeem himself. He's got 2 fast runners on with 1 out, and here's the pitch. Double twos. It's a double and 2-run score. The Cubs have the lead, 2-0. Here's Keith Moreland. He's batting 249 with 11 homers and 54 RBIs. His on base should be 326. It's 294, and his slugging should be 422. It's 410. And he gets out. Fly ball. Runner holds. Here's Ron Say. Should have a 302. He has a 302 on base. It should be 324. Slugging is 373. It should be 442. He only has 14 homers and 58 RBIs. And he gets a base hit and scores. So the Cubs are showing life, unlike they did in Game 1 when they lost 10-0. Here's Jody Davis. Perhaps the winning streak, it's still early. It's only the first inning. And the Cubs gave up 10 runs last game, so this is not over yet. Here's Jody Davis, batting 273 with 10 homers and 68 RBIs. And he is out. So after 1, it's 3-0 Cubs. Here's Jerry Mumphrey, batting 300, 8 homers, 67 RBIs. And he grounds out. Guinness Cabell, batting 341. He's 5th in the National League in hitting with 11 homers and 63 RBIs. And he grounds out. Terry Poole, batting 294 with 2 homers, 43 RBIs. Foul ball. He gets another roll. Here's the second roll. He gets a base hit. Another 2-out hit for the Astros brings up Mark Bailey. He has 11 homers, 33 RBIs, batting .268, way over his real life. 360 on base versus 318, 437 slugging versus 343. And he grounds out. Still 3-0. Here's Larry Boa batting .234 with no homers, 24. And he grounds out. Eckersley batting .171. Singles, a rare hit for him. And he's a slow runner. Dernier fouls out. And we're going to put the brakes on Eckersley with 2 out for Sandberg. Sandberg singled and stole second and scored first inning. And he gets a base hit. So 2 men on for Gary Matthews. Matthews walked last time and scored. And this time he flies out to end the inning. Here's Mike Scott. We do not pull him because every pitcher, and I've played this since day one, game number 1. Now we're, like I said, 10,129. Every pitcher, starting pitcher, has to go 5 innings, no matter how many runs they give up. That's the way I play it. It's so easy in this game just to put the same great reliever and pitch him every game. That's not realistic. I keep tabs on those relievers down to their how many innings they have left. Solano has 28. So I make sure they do not go over. Here's Mike Scott. And he singles. Let's see if he can get the Astros going. Billy Durham pops out. Craig Reynolds singles. First to third. 1 out for Denny Walling. Walling grounded to first time up. No, he's singled. That's a single. Singled first time up. And he flies out. The runner does not go even though he's fast. Here's Jose Cruz. And he grounds out to the shortstop to end the inning. So after 2.5, it's still 3-0 Cubbies. And Scott is now tired. He goes down to D. So you can see when you're a 5 Q3, your downgrade happens at the beginning of the 3rd inning, and that is what happened to Scott. And he gives up a single. Durham's trying to steal. He doesn't get the jump. Let's see. Yep, it wouldn't have been a hit if he was a C level, but he's a D, so he gives up the hit. Moreland, he had 2 grounded into double plays in the first game, so I don't trust him here. Gets double 3s. So there's 66 is a homer, and that is it. He doesn't have much home run pop. Let's see what he can do here. 16. That's a 7. It's a base hit. Runner to second. It's always disappointing when you get the second roll and you just get a base hit. Here's Ron Say. Say singled and drove in a run the first inning. Now has 59 RBIs. Here's the pitch to the Penguin. And he gets a base hit. Bases are loaded with nobody out. And you can't pull them. Jody Davis. Bases loaded. He grounded into a fielder's choice first time. He gets double 2s and the Cubs score 2 runs. So it's now 5-0 for the Cubs. Looks like the winning streak might be ending here today. Here is Larry Boa. And he pops out. Eckersley. Eckersley strikes out. Put the brakes on Jody Davis for Dernier. And he gets double 1s. 62, that's a double. It will score 2 runs at 7-0 Cubs. Dernier gets rare RBIs. Here's Sandberg, singles and scores. So Scott's getting batted around. It's now 8-0. This is a reversal of the first game. Here's Eckersley to Jerry Mumphrey. 1 down. Cabell, 2 down. Fly out, 3 down. That's what I love about this game. Okay, it doesn't look pretty. It's very accurate. I find it to be very accurate. Produces great results. As APA is a proven commodity for 40, 50. Someone out there knows exactly how many years. But it is fast. I can play 6 games a day. I've averaged, if you watched my last video of the Best of the 80s project, I averaged 5.22 games a day. I can do that because these games are fast. And I still play other things too. Okay, Scott has 2 more innings to go. 1 out. He gets a single. No jump. I'm just going to cruise here. And 1, 2, 3 after that. Here's Bailey. Bailey grounds out Scott. Scott still has one more inning to go. He walks. He's been on twice, and he hits in double play. Bottom of the fifth, 8-0 Cubs. Boa singles. Can try to steal. Doesn't get the jump. Eckersley, he's going to bunt. He has to stay in the game because he has not given up a run yet. That's another one of my rules. He's bunted twice and gets a sacrifice with 2 outs. Boa at second. Dernier, he has 2 RBIs in the game. And he gets... Oh, he's thrown out at the plate. I think Boa, he's not a slow runner, so we have to see why he got thrown out. He's going to try to steal. He doesn't get the jump. Let's see what it says here. Single to left, runner out at home. Just flat out. Only if a fast runner scores. So here's Sandberg with 2 out. And he gets a ball. And he hits into a fielder's choice. Bring this up again for the backdrop. Okay, we're in the top of the 6th. It's 8-0. Here's Craig Reynolds. Unless the miraculous comeback by the Astros, looks like there will not be a new record holder for the winning streak. They will not have their 16th straight. Here's Reynolds. Gets a base hit. Of course, I probably jinxed the Cubs there. Here's Denny Walling. Another base hit. Second and third. Nobody out for Jose Cruz. And grounds out, and the runner scores. So I can pull Eckersley now, but I'll let him stay. Probably give up another run. And a double play, fly out. Old Moreland in the right field throws out. Who was on? It was Walling. Throws Walling out at the plate to end the inning. So after 5.5, it's 8-1 Cubs. Now we'll pull Scott. We'll bring in Vern Rule. We won't double switch. Vern Rule will come into the ball game. Vern Rule is 2-4 with a 4.43 ERA. His ratings are 4.3, and he has a Y and a Z. Y and is a strikeout. Creates more strikeouts. You can see that Rule is 51 strikeouts and 63 innings pitched. And Z takes away walks. He only has 10 walks in 63 innings pitched. But he gives up a lot of hits. There's Matthews. Fly out. Durham. Singles. He's going to try to steal. He gets thrown out. So Bailey throws him out. Probably shouldn't have tried to steal anyway by 7 runs. Moreland. And he flies out. Rule's now tired. So we can pull him if we get there. Here's Cabell. Cabell as ground to the pitcher and ground to first, covered by the pitcher. And he strikes out this time. Terry Poole walks. And Mark Bailey has a chance at a home run. 32 is a 7. It's another one of those base hits. Disappointing. Eckersley is now tired. They're going to bring in a pinch hitter. We look at who's available from game 2. You see that they had Garner, Pena, Bass, Knight, and Pankovics. So Pankovics, sure, we'll go with him. Jim Pankovics will come in to pinch hit. He is batting .321 with no homers and 1 RBI. Eckersley is tired, so we will bring in Stoddard. Tim Stoddard, formerly of the Orioles, will come in. He was a big man. That's what I remember about him. He has a 2-4 record with a 1.84 ERA. 2 men on for Pankovics. Strikes out. Billy Doran reaches on an error by the Penguin. The runner from second, who was Terry Poole, scores. It's now 8-2. He will not try to steal. First and third, 2 out for Craig Reynolds. Now an 8-2 ball game. They're chipping away. And Reynolds is 2 for 3 with a run scored. Here's the pitch to Reynolds. And he gets a base hit. It's now 8-3. He's going to try to steal. There's no downside. He doesn't get the jump. And here's Denny Walling. Walling has singled twice. He stole a base and flied out to right. 8-3 now. We're still in the 7th inning. Pitch. Double threes. Walling has a chance at a home run. He throws 33. That is a home run. Home run for Denny Walling. And it's now 8-6. This is Cubs baseball, ladies and gentlemen. Cubs baseball. blowing leads left and right. They blew a lead in the standings, and now they're blowing a lead here today as the Astros desperately want to get game number 16. And they want to create a first place tie in the National League East. Stoddard's still a B. There's no reason to take him out. He's just getting very unlucky. Thanks to the error by the Penguin, you can see that these runs are unearned. They have 6 runs and only 1 run is earned. So it's defense letting them down. All these runs in the 7th inning are unearned. Here's Cruz with bases empty now. And they finally get the inning over. So now we'll see who we can bring in. Rule is done. We've got Sampito and Solano. So we'll bring in Solano. He is one of the best pitchers in 1984. And I'll show you. They just called him out. Oh, okay. I thought he was an A, one of those A and C guys, but he's an A. He's 17 in Q2. And yet he has a 4.37 ERA. He's been very, very unlucky. He's unlucky like a Cubs pitcher. He's given up... he's been good in his last... in June, when he first came up, that's where he was giving up all those runs. They sent him down again, came back up, and he's pitching well since he's been returned to the lineup. Anyway, here's Solano to Ron Say. Ron Say is saying, boy, did I screw that last inning up. I cost my team 5 runs with 1 error. If it would have cut the ball, it'd still be up 8-1. So he's really pressing here in the bottom of the 7th. And his pressing makes him strike out. Here's Jody Davis. He singled in 2 runs, scored a run, and is 1 for 3. And he strikes out 2. Solano pitching well now. Larry Boa. He singled, and that's it. And he's out on a swinging bunt. Tries to bunt with 2 outs. Here's Jerry Mumphrey. Mumphrey is 0 for 3. Ground to a double play on a fly out. He grounded to the first baseman. The pitcher covering, and he grounded to short. 0 for 3. Here's Mumphrey, and he grounded out. Time is running out for the Astros. They need 2 runs to tie. Here's Enos Cabell, 0 for 3. And he strikes out. Stoddard is settling down after a shaky inning last inning. Here's Terry Poole. He singled, walked, scored a run, and flied out. And he's out. So Stoddard's now batting, and he'll come out, and let's see who the Cubs have eligible for a pinch hitter. They have Gary Woods, Steve Lake, Bosley, Verizon, John Stone. Always like John Stone. Let's bring him in. Where are you, John Stone? Oh, I'm looking at the pictures. There he is. J. John Stone. John Stone batting .389 with no homers and 10 RBIs. He's one of the few Cubs overperforming, but he only has 55 plate appearances, so it didn't make that much of an impact. And he flies out. Bob Dernier having a good day. 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a run scored. And he strikes out. Solano takes away the hit. And here's Sandberg having one of his better days. He has 3 hits. He heard me bad-mouthing him. And he's performed today with 3 for 4. He has a run scored, an RBI, 2 stolen bases in this game. And he gets another hit. 4 hits today for Sandberg. Maybe he will turn it around. Because I went on national TV here on the King Ikeboo Sports Network and trashed him. He's going to try to steal again. He does not get the jump for his 3rd stolen base. Solano goes down to a B. Here's Gary Matthews. Matthews today is walked. He's 0 for 3. And he grounds into a fielder's choice. So here we go. In will come none other. Let's see what John Stone's fielding is like. 2-1. Sure. We will bring him in and let him stay in the game in left field. And we'll bring in Lee Arthur Smith. Lee Arthur Smith to close this ball game. One of my favorite Cub pitchers ever. I do not know to this day why in the world they would trade him. I don't know. I'm bringing up old wounds. Let's see what he's done this season. He has a 2.56 ERA, 1.34 WHIP. He has 30 saves, only 3 blown saves. And he's going to try not to blow this one. He's going to face Bailey, a pinch hitter, and Billy Doran. Here is the pitch to Mark Bailey. It's a walk. The tying run comes to the plate. Julio Solano, he's a decent hitter, but they're going to take him out anyway. And they're going to bring in Kevin Bass. They're going to bring in Phil Garner. Yep, that's the one. Unless he has a big hitting streak going. Nope, only 2 games. So Phil Garner will come into the game to pinch hit for Solano. He represents the tying run. We will put the brakes on Bailey. His run really doesn't mean much. So he's not going to try to extend and go for it on a double or anything. So we put the brakes on Bailey. Phil Garner batting .270 with 4 homers and 34 RBIs. They're tense here at Wrigley Field. How many fans are in the ballpark here today? There are 29,184 tense fans in the stands today. Here's Lee Smith. The windup. The pitch. Base hit. 2 men are on. Now, if we would have not had the brakes, it wouldn't have made a difference. All it says is F runner to third, so he wouldn't have been thrown out. It would have been the exact same result. But now we will once again put the brakes on Bailey, although we will have Garner try to score on a double to tie the game. And here's Billy Doran. He is 0 for 5, no 0 for 4. He's ground to second. He's popped out to short. He's hit into a double play, 4-6-3, and he's reached on that say error that cost them 5 runs. But they're not thinking about that now. 2, the tying runs are on base. The winning runs at the plate. What's at stake? A 16-game hitting streak. What's at stake? Sole possession of first place in the National League East. There is so much at stake here today, ladies and gentlemen. Here is Lee Smith. He allowed the first 2 runners on. The pitch to Billy Doran. It's a pass ball. Runners advance. Tying run in scoring position. Nobody out. Looks like the Cubs are going to blow an 8-0 lead. Smith has to come through. Here's the pitch. Fouled out. Big pitch. Gets in the pop out. Bull Durham makes the play for the first out of the inning. Still not out of the weeds. Here's Craig Reynolds. He has 3 base hits today and ground to the pitcher. 3 for 4. He has an RBI and 2 runs scored. Here's the pitch to Craig Reynolds. He has a chance at an error. Oh, just about an error, but he gets an out. It's a pop fly to say. He doesn't muff it this time. And there's 2 away. Lee Smith is playing like Mitch Williams here, letting the first 2 runners on and then bearing down. But he still has 1 man to go. The man who has hit a 3-run homer in this game. He also has singled and stolen a base. Singled again. He's 3 for 4. And that is Denny Walling. They're not going to put him on to face Jose Cruz, however. Smith is going to pitch to him right here. This is the ball game. This roll will determine everything. Here is the roll. 4-4. 4-4, single and 2 runs scored. The game is tied. The Astros come down from 8-0 down. This typifies the Cubs season like none other. 2 runs score. He's going to try to steal. He doesn't get the jump. He represents the go-ahead run. And here is Jose Cruz. Lee Smith has blown his 4th save of the game. Or of the season, sorry. It's pretty hard to blow 4 saves in a game. 4 of the season. And the Cubs, this represents how things have gone in 1984 for the Cubs. I guess it makes up for 1982 because, believe it or not, the 1982 Cubs won the National League East in my replay. They took the defending world champion Dodgers in the National League Championship Series to a 7th game. They were ahead in the 8th inning, and they blew the game and lost Game 7 in Los Angeles. They were that close to getting to the World Series in 1982. If you look up the 1982 Cubs, you'll see how amazing that is that they got that far. But I guess they're making up for it here, being the most frustrating team. This team should be so good, but they are not. And here they are on the verge of blowing another game. 2 out. Man on. He's fast. He will score on any double. Here's Jose Cruz. That's the 4th hit of the day for Denny Walling. Cruz has singled. He got caught stealing. Then he grounded to a dribbler to the catcher. Fielder's choice. Ground ball to short that scored a run, and then ground to the first baseman. Here is the pitch to Jose Cruz. Struck him out, but the Astros tie the game at 8 after 8.5. Phil Garner, you cannot pitch. Denny Walling is the third baseman. Do you take a guy out who has 4 hits in a game? Denny Walling, 4 for 5 with a homer and 5 RBIs. I don't think you take him out of the game, even for a double switch. I don't think that's true. So, Solano has pitched. Rule has pitched. Sambito is available. DePino is closer only. That means only in a closing situation can DePino come in because he did not appear in any of the 3 games. So the only pitcher left is none other than Joe Sambito. So he's going to come. Maybe we should double switch just to give him a couple more. It's not that much difference. I don't know. You got to let him come in and get his 5th hit. That's just the way I am. So Sambito will come into the game. He's the last pitcher available for the Astros. So you're wondering why he's pitched 16 innings and is still pitching Sambito. That's because nobody else is available. Okay? Don't write in your nasty comments. So he is a BL. He gives up quite a few homers. He's 1-3 with a 5.63 ERA. In real life, Sambito had a 3.02 ERA. He didn't have that many innings. We're hanging on. We're using him economically. That's what I'm trying to say. He pitched 47 and 2/3 innings, and I've only used him 16 innings. So he has lots innings available yet. He's a left-hander pitching to the left-handed Bull Durham. Durham today is 3 for 4. He got caught stealing last time, but he has 2 RBIs and 2 runs scored. The Cubs want to get that run after disgraceful blowing an 8-0 lead. This reminds me of 1989 when the Cubs were trailing the Astros 8-0 and came back and won. So this is a reversal of that here in 84. Here's the pitch to Leon Durham. He grounded it short for the first out. Here's Moreland. Moreland has 2 hits today. And he grounds out. And here's Say. Say is the GOAT of the game, even though he's 2 for 4 because of that error. If it wasn't for this error, it'd be 8-3 right now. And he grounds out. So we're going to extra innings. Sambito is grade lower. So we're going to leave Smith in the game. He has 41 innings left. We've used him economically. And he's allowed to go on. He's an 8-1, so he can go for a while. He doesn't get downgraded to his 13th batter. Okay, here's Mumphrey. Mumphrey is 0 for 4. And he has a chance at an error. No error. First out. Cabell's 0 for 4. And he flies out. Terry Poole singled, flied out, walked, and scored. And I hit the button and struck him out before I said. I got the itchy trigger finger on the D button. And the inning's over. So, Sambito to Jody Davis. Jody Davis singled, drove in 2 runs, scored. And he has another chance. Just a ball. 1 ball, no strikes to Jody Davis. And he singles. The go-ahead run is on base. He's a slow runner, however. Okay, here's Boa. Boa, he's not very good. He's good defensively. He's an 8, but at the plate, he's no good. We got Johnstone. We did the double switch thing, so Johnstone's on deck, which is a comforting thought at this point. We don't want to take out Jody Davis, though, because of his defense. But because he's an 8 catcher, and his backup, Steve Lake, is not. Here's Boa. Double play ball. Here's Johnstone. Foul ball. And he struck out. So Sambito goes down to a D. Lee Smith is still a C. Here's Mark Bailey. He's singled and scored, walked and scored. He is 1 for 3. And he has ground out. Now, we cannot take Sambito out. He's the last pitcher standing. He must stay in the game. And he has a 0.00 on base percentage. And he has a ball. And he strikes out. Billy Durham with 2 out here in the 11th inning. He strikes out. So Lee Smith, he pitched 3 innings. He gave up 2 runs and blew the game, but he's pitched well in the 10th and 11th, and now he's a D. And does he come up here? Yes, he's going to be due to bat 3rd, so he'll be pinch hit for. And now we face a tired Sam Bito. He's pitched well, though. 2 innings pitched. He's got his ERA down to 5. He's given up only 1 hit, no walks, and struck out 1. Here's Dernier. He's 2 for 5 in this ball game with 2 RBIs and a run scored. See if he can get on. He cannot. Ryan Sandberg, he has 4 hits. Can he keep it going? He gets another hit. Hit number 5 for Sandberg. He's going to try to steal. He does. He's in scoring position. And here's Lee Smith. Well, he's coming out of the ball game. And I think Tad Bosley was one of the guys. He's a good hitter. Who else was there? Bosley, Woods, Lake, before mentioned Lake, and Verizer. So we will take outs, and let's see. Bosley, he's good. Steve Lake can hit a home run or 2, but he doesn't get on base much. Woods. So we'll go with let's see. We'll go with Woods. Gary Woods coming into the ball game. He's batting .217 with 3 homers and 11 RBIs. Crucial pitch to Gary Woods. Here it is. Ground out, runner to 3rd. So we have a runner at 3rd with 2 out for Leon Durham. Here's the ball game. Single and score. The Cubs win. Cubs win. Cubs win. Holy cow, the Cubs have won, and the 15-game winning streak is over. But they did it the hard way, blowing an 8-0 lead and winning it in the bottom of the 11th inning thanks to a 2-out walk-off RBI single by the Bull. And that is the ball game. The hero of the game is Leon Durham. He was 4 for 6 with 2 runs scored, a double, and 3 RBIs. You have to give honorable mention, though, to Sandberg, who scored the winning run. But if you drive in the winning run, you're automatically the hero of the game. That's the way I do it. So, and he had a pretty good day. So let's hope that Sandberg keeps it going. He has his best game in a long time here today. But the pitching staff, well, you can't really blow. Look at this. They gave up 8 runs, but only 1 of them was earned. 1 earned run out of 8. So it's the defense that let the Cubs down here today. So the final score, the 15-game winning streak does not become 16 as the Cubs, 9 runs, 19 hits, and 1 error, 1 very costly error, 8 left on base, and the Astros, 8 runs, 12 hits, no errors, and 5 left on base. Thank you for tuning in to the King Ikeboo Sports Network. We hope you have a great evening. Goodbye, everybody.